So if we understand to some degree the principles and laws that we're created in, because, you know, look at us. We work so good, all this shit happens, and we're just sort of stuck in this process. You know, we've got to go and have a shit and all that sort of stuff. We don't sort of go, oh, I've got to make shit. You know, it just happens. This is, we live in this wondrous thing. And we don't know what it is. We've got a mouth. Shit comes out, shit goes in. Why have we got these hands with 5 fingers? You know, twinkle, twinkle. What's that? Some movie they did the star, Twinkle Fingers or stuff. Well, I didn't forget it. So. And we got this particular shape. That's the one, yeah. And we got this particular shape. And all it's why? The ancient teaching says we are in miniature all that is in there. All that is in magnitude. So what that kind of says is that we are principles and laws. And those principles and laws give us the 5 fingers. And we see 7 colours of the rainbow. There might be 1,000, but we see 7. That's our law. Whether a dog sees 1 or 1,000,000, that's his law. But this is our law. Yeah? So when we understand what happens for us, we're understanding and dealing with the principalities and laws that govern us. And then from that, we can discover maybe who we are. Because we're not this, we just live in it. And your death experience shows you that death's bullshit. Yeah, you only take the jumper off. And then you go put another one on. That's death. The body dies. The ego dies. But the soul, it's eternal. Jesus showed that, hanging around on the cross. He transcended death, so they say. And he did. But so does the soul. And if we connect with the soul, we start to connect with what is transcendent of life and death.
But in terms of the candle, when you say the soul in this context, are we talking both of those two? Like, or are we really talking that?
The light is our higher ideals. Like what we're going to be doing, or we're doing it now actually, is they're virtues. You know, virtues like wisdom, understanding, yeah? And there's shit like jealousy and envy and all that, the 7 deadly sins. So you got a rainbow, and you got 7 deadly sins and the 7 virtues. Yeah? The white light are the virtues, they're our higher ideals. That brings us light. What contains it all is the soul. Yeah? And that soul comes into being, into a body, just like I come down with a match and I light a candle, and up it comes. We think, when we're instinctual, we think we're the burning wick. Yeah. As we grow, we start to deal with duality, which is the blue-black flame, because it's blue and it's black, and it's below and it's above. It's that part of our being. Yeah. But then there's the light. And that light is connected to the all-encompassing flame. Now, why did you light a candle? To get light. So it's one with its Father. Yeah? So, if we understand that process, nature, if there's a flame, it's how rock solid is it? Well, rock solid, but it's real. It's archetypally true, real. And from there, we have something for our intellect, our ego to sort of go, oh yeah, I get that. I can connect those dots. I can use that as something solid. Therefore, I can just surrender my doubts. Being what, and then you start to move into the light. So the higher ideals and the inspiring ideas start to come down. Does that make sense? Or come into the consciousness. So if we practice virtuous things, now I get pissed off like everyone else. I have a neighbour that shits me. Can keep me awake at all sort of ungodly hours, etc. And I can descend into wanting to rip his head off. Which is really easy because he's a little guy. But it doesn't do me any good. Yeah? So how do I get around it? I've got to sort of lift up to something more virtuous and cling to that virtue so that I can overcome ripping his little head off. Yeah? And then if I do that, if he needs his head ripped off, someone will do it for him. Not me. Yeah? Because I've come to the higher part. It's not the encompassing flame, but I've lifted myself up from that instinctual burning urge to rip his head off. Get the idea? Mm-hmm. And then we can, if we start connecting the things, we get the all-encompassing flame that connects the whole lot up. And there is enlightenment, we know. You know, the idea of enlightenment, Kabbalah, it's gone. There used to be a tree there. There it is. It's at Kether the crown, which is the light. It comes from what the Kabbalists call Ein Sof, negative existence. So if we're doing male-female potentiality being negative existence, outside of this positive egg of creation is the Great Mother. It's negative existence, it's energy. It's this limitless light that enters this portal of existence, which, let's say it's us, but it's an archetype, but it's us. It enters through here, and it's light, enlightenment. And that takes in the whole of our being. But the energy has no limit, it's limitless. Consciousness, it's not limited. This thing takes in all the planets, all the aspects of being. Cosmic consciousness, or like Barbara or Mother demonstrate, is everything is conscious. It's conscious in that. It's consciousness of everything. There's no hiding away, no one can hide. And from us, we can't hide from ourselves. If we want to high consciousness, we can't bullshit to ourselves because we're keeping ourselves in bullshit. So we've got to be brutally honest with ourselves and go, oh, shit, I was going to say fuck them, but I've decided I really want to rip this guy's head off. That's not very spiritual. But at least you connect with it. If you don't connect with it, all that anger runs around somewhere, and it'll erupt somewhere else. Yeah, so if we confront it, we either rip his head off or go, well, I've got to overcome this. And we can deal with it. Yeah? It's that simple.